Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. Tonight we are back in Simability V8ESC action. Season 13, round 10 comes from a Magny Cours and is a 2-hour endurance race. I'm Clyde Whiting, and in the booth with me and doing your cameras tonight, it is Princess Pete. Good evening.
Good evening, Clyde. Good evening, everybody. Hope you enjoy this one.
Yes, hopefully everybody will enjoy it. Maybe apart from the drivers.
Yeah.
I, I, I know we said this quite a bit, but the comments I'm hearing on this track is very Marmite. Some people think it's brilliant and it's a challenge, and other people just hate it. Have you managed to do any laps, Pete?
A very small amount, not in this car, obviously. I think it's very car dependent. I think high downforce cars are favoured. I think for a car like this track should be good, right? You've got long straights, you've got heavy braking zones, you've got overtaking opportunities. It should lend itself to these cars, but I think because it's pretty much flat, isn't it? I think that the high downforce cars are favoured here, but we'll see. You're right though. I've heard equal amounts of people say they didn't like it, and then others say it's brilliant, it's a legend, it flows brilliantly, it's what they've been waiting for, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I think it probably is going to lend itself to maybe some dive bombs. And also, as we was talking about before we came on air, watching the practice session, a lot of people making big mistakes into the Adelaide hairpin.
Yep.
So yeah, it could lend itself to a few driver errors, but we have got some very good drivers out on track.
And it's not the first time that they'll find a hairpin like that. I mean, Nürburgring Grand Prix has a hairpin just like it. In fact, there's a few tracks with proper serious hairpins. I mean, if we're on board, if I can get on board with him before he approaches it, that's not the right button to press. It's this one here that Simon's approaching. It's super sharp. It's easy to screw it up. It's easy to run wide. It's easy to run through it. And then getting back on the gas, especially in this car, we all know that is just pure skill to get on with no wheel spin out of a corner as slow as that one.
Well, and I think that it's a fantastic hairpin. Don't get me wrong. You come out of like I think it's called Estoril, down the start finish straight, a couple of sort of nothing left. And then you're in this really long right-hander that goes on forever. Now, when you come out of that, you get on the gas, and it's like, well, hey, at last, I can let the car go. And then, at the end, it's such a hard braking zone. And I think, people just try and carry maybe too much speed in there because although it's not straight coming out, there is a good squirt on the throttle when you come out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm watching Vincent Skilbeck at the moment. There's a kink or a couple of kinks, but nothing that's going to make you want to lift off the accelerator until you get into the next right and then a sort of left-hand complex that again seems to go on forever. But good, definitely a good overtaking opportunity there.
Oh, without a doubt. In fact, there's a few. Vincent's just making his way down through the little series of turns called Imola, which obviously we're not there, and is approaching the other overtaking opportunity, which is into here. You could easily stuff a pass in. I think it's called like Castle Water or Water of the Castle or something like that. House Water or something.
Chateau d'Eau or something?
Yeah, I think that means something to do with water and castles.
Yeah.
And then the corner he's just been through there, which is the school complex. That's another good place to overtake. I think this is going to be an exciting race, this.
It could be.
14 or 15 races, I think it's 14. And we know that we don't need like 300 cars on the track with V8s. We just need the quality of the drivers that we've got right here.
Exactly, and apologies for my French. It is nearly as good as my Japanese.
And his English.
So last time out, if memory serves, we was at Phillip Island, where Simon Trendle won the sprint race and Adam Wright won the feature race. Quick run down the standings, top three in each. So Simon Trendle leads the way overall, with Adam Wright second and Tony Kloosterman in third. In team standings, Team Chimera lead BSTV Esports Green with NQR Europe in third. Driver of the meeting, Tony Kloosterman leads the way, and then we've got Eric Blick, Stephen Phillips, Kenzie Newhoff and Adam Wright all tied for second. Safe Driver Award, Tyler Newitt leads the way, with Bob Woodhouse second and Miro Hlasky in third. And the Fred Bingham Forever Forward Award, Simon Trendle leads the way, Adam Wright second, and Tyler Newitt in third. So, pit stops, obviously, tonight, Pete.
Yeah.
They're going to be a big thing. I do have some inside information. And apparently you could possibly two-stop it, but fuel is going to be an issue. I think it's possibly going to be a three-stopper. And yeah, I don't know. We're going to go allegedly about 71 laps, so we should be able to sort that quite easily in our heads and then get it all totally wrong.
Absolutely, it's the BSTV way.
Exactly, and we never know what's going to happen until it's over.
Yep.
Another thing I did today was I looked at a little bit of history of this track, and I think it came into being around 1961 as a 1.2 mile club circuit, and then had a bit of a meteoric rise right up to hosting the French Grand Prix in Formula One for a number of years. And the modern layout is actually 2.7 miles, so it's actually grown quite a lot.
Yeah, it's I can remember the likes of Nigel Mansell and that driving around here on a Sunday afternoon when F1 was on the telly and Murray Walker was exclaiming over the various different overtakes and stuff. I like it. I think it's a really nicely laid out track. I think it's got some features that you would be really happy to have in any racetrack. And I think it's going to suit the V8s very well. Whether the drivers like it or not, that's up to them, really, isn't it? I've done a few laps. I've not done any in anger, it has to be said. So I don't know what it's like to run in a pack. I've just run it on my own so far. But yeah, nice layout in my opinion.
Yeah, there's a 1.7 mile national circuit as well that looks like it would be an extremely interesting track for slower cars.
All right, okay, like a club circuit sort of version.
Yeah, it sort of cuts out that the middle section that goes back in on itself.
Right.
And just sort of goes around the outside, a bit like a Snetterton 200 type of track. Anyway, back to qualifying. We are 9 minutes in. Championship leader Simon Trendle has a 0.4 of a second lead over Adam Wright in second, and then Kenzie Newhoff in third. Eric Blix is back and was looking very quick in the practice session. So although we haven't got that many drivers tonight, 14 in total, there's a lot of talent on show in this field, Pete.
Yeah, very much so. And you look outside the top five, and you've got Tony Kloosterman, who's a Simability V8ESC stalwart, and has been here since the very beginning, as far as I remember.
I think we should actually call him the sofa, because he's now part of the furniture.
Yeah, totally. You've got Tyler Newitt just in front of him on track, actually, giving him a tow. Again, tactician for any race, really, but endurance races, definitely. You've got Stephen Phillips, who's just rolled out onto the track. He's actually leaving pit road at the minute. He's shown excellent consistency and performance. I say that as he bails out and disappears.
So you just cursed him there, didn't you? That was strong.
Yeah, my curses are very strong. You know, each name that you come up against in this series is really strong. I've already got indications that some are returning to the league in season 14. Sorry, we're in 13. So next season looks to be probably the stronger of the two. I don't know whether that's the time of year related. It possibly could be. And I don't know whether Johnny Brandon's colleagues and that from XVR will also turn up next time. But you know, we're still in this one at the moment. We're halfway through it, I think, are we? Or we're just approaching halfway. I can't remember where.
Yeah, we are there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Shout out to Stan on chat. We don't know if it's Stacey. We don't know if it's Anne. David Johansson. I think he's one of your TCR drivers.
Yes.
Welcome to the chat. And Alan Toon as well. Welcome to the chat.
Yeah, good evening all. So, how long have we got left of this? We've got 4 minutes left. Car 44. Yeah. Who's car 44? Miro.
I'm sure you can ruin somebody's qualifying lap in that amount of time.
Without a doubt. So, approaching, where is he? Adelaide? Yeah. Approaching Adelaide hairpin there. And then you set off through this left-right section, so there's not much in the kinks here, but I think if you got a good drive out, then it could be a stuff it through the inside if you were chancing it. We're into 180, which is a 180-degree left-hander. You take a late apex in most cars at that. Even the Formula 1 cars took a late apex when I was watching some historical. And then you go through this series of kinks, flying down here into the turns that they call Imola. Take a lot of curb on the second one, not the first one. The first one's quite high. I think it would disturb the car a lot. Then we come through Castle Water, is what we're going to call it, or Water Castle. We'll see. And then this long, sweeping left-hander, which it feels great. There's not a lot you can do here, though. It's single-file traffic only, because you've got to get to the left in order to take a lot of curb, straighten the car up, and then give it a good squirt. We get to see pit lane. It's really short stop, Clyde.
It is, isn't it? You sort of enter the lane and you're already at the garages.
Yeah, I mean, you get that wrong, you've got a penalty immediately. But you're not travelling that fast around that last corner, are you? So I don't know that we'd get too many penalties in that. But that was the majority of a lap.
Yeah, I think drivers should be fairly well versed with the pits.
You say that, but we get penalties still.
We do. What's the exit like? Is it
anybody moving? Let's have a look.
No, I think it's looks like it goes round that first left and then joins the track before you're into that long right. So that's a potential issue for drivers coming out of the pits with cold tyres, and they're immediately into that long right-hander, which reminds me a lot of Cours.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Let's see if anybody else is going to bother to pit in. No, everybody's trying to put laps in still. You know, you can see the pit lane there. It goes back straight onto the tracks. You don't lose much time here, do you, really, in pit road? There's no silliness going on like there is at Bathurst, where it's left, right, and you can get off tracks and dangerous pit entries. There's no Phillip Island dodginess of...
Yeah, a bit like a Donington Park.
Yes,
pit, isn't it?
Exactly
straight
that.
In, straight out.
Yeah.
A few changes at the top there. Eric Blix is up to second. Tyler Newitt up to third.
Yep. Eric Blix doing a great job at the minute. Alex Savalano Lado won't be racing tonight, spending the day with family. Oh, as Eric goes and does some race cross.
We've lost
He
Adam
thinks...
Wright at the moment as
Oh,
well with a
have I?
connection issue.
Oh, that happened the other week as well. Yeah, he's so Alex has already put his money on teammate Kenzie to win this. So he owes us, is it 50 quid for boasting about somebody and then not doing it?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So 50 quid coming from Alex to us. If Kenzie doesn't manage to come up with the goods.
We'll put it in the T fund.
Yeah. My camera is currently on Vincent, apparently. He's doing a good job of hiding behind something. He's stationary. Oh, he's doing a start. He's doing a start.
Yeah.
Which is really difficult in this car. Although, I think it's
Jamie
easier
Wilson,
than doing the TCR.
Jamie Wilson, are you watching?
Yeah. If not, you need to. Is Tyler doing the same? It looks like he is. Or it looks like he was, I should say. So we are in the dying embers of this qualifying session. It will.
Drivers can finish their lap because obviously this is not a heat race.
I don't know whether... No, Rob Van isn't on a lap. I think he's just refamiliarising himself with the track. His teammate is doing practice starts, I think. They are the only two cars still on track. Good evening to Mike Frost on the chat. When are you rejoining this V8 league? Strangest behaviour ever, but no man. Oh no, he was doing a practice start there, I think, or checking his clutch anyway. Is it me or are those two paints different?
Yeah, it looks like
one's got a spec map on it and one hasn't.
Yeah. I think Adam has been messing, hasn't he, with spec maps? So.
Yeah, he's had a play, hasn't he? Clearly. Next time out, for those of you that are interested at the moment, it's Winton for a standard sprint feature race, which, you know, it's back to V8s on a V8 track, isn't it? You know, that's where they're famous for. And then after that, we visit Knockhill, Daytona for another endurance round, and then Silverstone, and rounding out the season at Sandown on June 10th.
Knockhill was brilliant last time.
It was
these
class.
Cars raced there.
Absolutely.
It had all the makings of being absolutely horrible, but it was awesome. Anyway, here is your starting grid for round 10. Simon Trendle took pole position for Team Chimera with Kenzie Newhoff second, Hydra Race Racing Forces. Third was Eric Blixt, Alcantech NHR by whatever the is
Nyman Racing.
Right, there you go. Name is too long. Fourth, Tyler Newitt, BSTV Sports Green. Fifth, and not sure if he's got back yet. I'm hoping he has. Adam Wright, BSTV Esports Green. Sixth, Tony Kloosterman. Seventh is Bob Woodhouse. Eighth is Stephen Phillips. Ninth is Vincent Skilbeck. 10th is Ant Woodward. 11th is Jamie Wilson. 12th is Nikolai Bogotyrev. 13th will be Rob Venn. And 14th is Miro Hraski.
Right, let's get a good view of drivers. They're not all joined the track yet, so I don't know whether they're waiting to see if Adam rejoins.
Well, they've had the standard 2-minute grid extension.
Yep.
There's no Adam on the grid yet, and I can't see that he's managed to connect.
Local.
That could be a home internet issue rather than an iRacing connection issue.
Yeah,
Which is a shame.
JB's got hardware problems like he did earlier in the week. He managed to sort them out for last night, but looks like he's struggling again tonight. So, shame about that. Has to be a spectator, he says.
Yeah, he did make me giggle when he said he was taking his computer to the take all my money shop.
Yeah.
Anyway, the lights are coming on, and we're away.
Yeah, we didn't get kept at the line for long.
Simon Trendle. Eric Blixt already trying to put Kenzie Newhoff under some pressure. They all got round there better than I thought they would.
Bit wiggly. Bit wiggly from Nikolai, I think that was. Just checking the front of the field here as Tyler's getting racy all of a sudden. That was Tony getting shouldered out by Tyler there.
Yeah, he hasn't got his wingman, has he, Tyler?
No.
Gilbeck at the start either.
No, that's a good point. I think Vincent is on track somewhere, but I'm not sure where.
No, I don't think he is.
No, he's not.
He's. I don't think he took the start and then he disconnected. So obviously some technical issues at his end as well.
We've got Stephen Phillips getting mobbed here by NQR cars, as is Jamie Wilson behind. That was Nikolai making his way through on Jamie Wilson. He's done a good job of it as well. Oh, somebody out wide.
Stephen Phillips is making up some places. He's just thrown one down the inside of Tyler.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that.
I think that may have been at hairpin, possibly.
It's at the other hairpin, I think. Wow, he's coming from miles back if he's done this. Oh, Tyler's on a slowdown.
Tyler's got a slowdown, yeah, that's right.
And then gets run out a little bit wide. Possibly took a 1x off that, but never mind.
Vincent has reconnected, so hopefully he's sorted out whether issues he's got.
Well, it's a long race, isn't it? And he'll make some places up, no doubt. It's getting very tasty at the front all of a sudden as well. Oh, Eric Blixt under braking. Did you see that twitch?
That was a twitch,
wow.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
And that's what this V8 does to you. It really punishes you for being too aggressive on your equipment.
So not only does Alex owe us 50 quid if Kenzie doesn't win, but it's also a fiver a lap for every lap he's not leading.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Kenzie's Fangirl Club, that's what Alex is calling himself at the minute.
So Tyler will be annoyed at picking up that slowdown because he was getting very, very racy, wasn't he, with Eric?
Yes.
And now he's got Stephen and Bob in front of him before he can even think about getting racy with Eric again.
Yeah, and Tony Klusterman's only a second behind and bringing most of NQR with him.
I was going to say there's an NQR train going on there.
Yeah.
Choo-choo! The sofa in front of that train.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, right? But most people call it a sofa. Where I grew up, it was always called a settee.
Yeah, I
Where the hell does that word come from?
But there's sofa, settee, couch. There's too many names for it, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So we're looking for some etymology on the word settee, please, folks, because I have no idea. Bit of NQR Europe battling going on back here.
I think it's the same as Lady Gardens. I have to think about what I was going to say.
I was going to, yeah.
Got too many names.
Uh-huh. Yeah, all these NQR cars resplendent in their Simability paints with their Wild Ride sponsorship as well.
Yeah, interesting up the front that Simon is putting a little gap on Kenzie, but the pair of them are driving away slowly from Eric.
Yeah, that's an ever-increasing gap back to Eric. I don't know whether I've got a camera that will demonstrate it better than the one I'm currently using, but he's got himself a gap though, hasn't he, in turn over...
Yeah, there's a second, isn't there, between those top three, first to second, and then second to third, another second. And then it's nearly 2 seconds back to Bob Woodhouse.
Yeah.
I'm sure, looking at how Stephen is driving, if he gets half a sniff, he's going to have a go at getting back. We've lost Vincent again with a connection issue. So.
Well, Sir Alan says that Settee is from the north. Well, that would be about right, because that's what they say up here and where I grew up. But sofa is the modern usage. Okay.
Well, I don't know if settee is a northern word, because I'm a southerner and we always used to sit on the settee.
Right.
And there is no northern bad blood in our genes.
Right. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, a slowdown for Kenzie. That was at the same place as Tyler.
Oh, he's done well there, though.
He has. Yeah. He's kind of mugged Eric of that, hasn't he? And look at that. Oh, Kenzie's strobing now as well. So, suddenly, Simon Trendle finds himself with 2.6 seconds of comfort. And Kenzie's got no comfort at all.
No, and Bob Woodhouse closed in as well because of that little spat there. And obviously he's bringing Stephen Phillips and Tyler Newitt with him.
Yeah. Oh, Eric wants second place here, you can tell. Oh, he's in a great place. Oh, yeah, Kenzie, defensive.
Run, but yeah, there was nothing he could do with that run, was there?
He backed well out of it, way before the turn as well. But look at Bob. Yeah, you're right. Bob is definitely pulling these guys in.
Well, we see it week in, week out, don't we? As soon as two cars start battling, it's hey-ho time for the cars behind.
Yeah. And Tyler starting to turn up the wick again.
Cody's driven away from Ant Woodward and Nikolai Bogatiro. Train has been broken up somewhat.
Yeah, the gap is in front of Tony, really, though, isn't it? He's dropped 1.5 seconds to Tyler. And Tyler's doing good laps. He's 1:40.9 is his fastest. I suppose he's doing exactly the same times as Stephen, which is quick compared to everybody around him, really.
I was half expecting Stephen to be putting some pressure on Bob, but he just doesn't seem to be able to get close enough to put any pressure on him.
No, and we've seen this from Bob Woodhouse on other tracks this season. Certain tracks seem to suit him, and he does very, very well, and he's very, very rapid. And other tracks, he's a little more average, shall we say, than on his best tracks. This one seems to suit him. He's good off the corners, that's for sure. I'm trying to remember where he was really good the last time we saw him. Was it Bathurst or somewhere like that?
Yeah, I can't remember. But I remember the race, but not the track.
Yeah, Tyler's definitely honing in on the back of Stephen Phillips. And did you say there is a chance of fuel saving to a two-stop or not?
There is. If anyone's going to try it, it's going to be Tyler, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, yeah. I was just looking as they approached 180. His brake discs were not on fire, but Stephen Phillips were. Now that could just be the driver themselves and how much brake bias they use and how heavy their feet are. But he's not making those rear brake discs glow too much. They're already extinguished and Stephen Phillips is still red hot. So I don't know whether that's just a feature of the driver or that's part of his tactic to come off the gas early and ease into the corners. Oh, hang on. That's the wrong way around, isn't it?
It is. Certainly is. What happened to Kenzie?
Oh, this looks like a turn 1, or did he? Oh, is this going to be at the chicane and he's straight lined it, got a slowdown? Yes.
Yes.
Has to be. Now that's a feature of this track. That won't be the last time we see that one. It's easily done because the first curb, the one you should avoid, upsets the car, straightens you up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've got to drive the first part of the chicane, haven't you?
Yeah, well, look at this now. Gee whiz, where did this come from? Everybody's stacking up, and Kenzie's had to give up a place because of his slowdown. Bob Woodhouse finds himself on a podium position.
How did Bob get through?
He was let through. Kenzie must have been still burning off his slowdown. Or has he got damage from going over the curb? Surely not.
For the first slowdown he got, he handled really well, didn't he? But
Yeah.
let's have a look. So he's burnt off the slowdown.
Oh.
He's been wide.
Yeah. Right, fair enough. That's that sorted. Right, so this is going to get interesting now. These three. Kenzie's dancing with death there, isn't he? If you know what I mean.
Well, he could be driving angry.
All I know is that 50 quid is looking better for us now, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. And we got another 40 from Kenzie not leading any laps. So
Oh, that's true, yeah.
We're making money here.
Yeah. I don't know how Alex is going to afford it.
Well, he'll have to sell a kidney.
Right, so lots of toe
Third,
heading down here.
fourth and sixth all together.
You can hear how much they're off the gas on this track on good portions of it. So that was 180. Then we get a bit of a squirt down through this little smooth curves down to another heavy braking zone. Oh, actually, it's Imola chicane first, isn't it? And then into another heavy braking zone, which is here. And then we concertina up. Tyler gets a really good line through there, but fighting the steering wheel, Clyde.
He is, yeah. There was a lot of turning left, or steering left, turning right there.
Yeah. Into the braking zone here, which is a really heavy one. And then you get a nice little run into the final chicane. Very tentative. Try and balance the car up, stop it shaking itself. He's closed in again on Stephen Phillips here, and then lets off for a nice, smooth and easy ride through that double left-hander and into this right-hander that leads onto...
Oh, Stephen's a bit wide there.
He was, but he's pulled it back for a later apex.
Yeah, that may have been on purpose, to be fair.
Yeah. And then the really heavy braking. Oh, he's off the gas miles in advance. No intention of a dive from Tyler on that corner.
Yeah, Kenzie's putting pressure on Bob Woodhouse. He wants that third place back.
Tyler stuck his nose out there in the background to have a look.
Yeah, it's two very good battles here.
And we should show this person, shouldn't we?
Who's he?
Apparently he's in the race. 7 and... Oh, no. What's that? 5 seconds in the lead is Simon Trent. We've still not got an Adam Wright. We've still not got a Vincent Skillbeck on track.
No, Vincent did get back. He manually disconnected, so I think he was having a hardware problem. Got connected and then got an iRacing disconnect. So, yeah.
Right.
Adam never even tried to get back, so there's something going on at his end there.
Yep. So watching two battles at the same time, those two and those two. They've kind of splintered now into two little battles. Tyler, lovely tight line through there.
Yeah,
Short
Stephen
distance.
is taking it wide, isn't he?
Yeah,
that is his line.
Might serve his tyres better later on because you're not scrubbing them quite so sharply, are you?
Well, the trouble is, if Tyler gets a nose, he can't get back to the apex.
Kenzie's done that. That was a nice...
Yeah, he has, yeah. See that.
Nice move that was. Very standard, as in pull alongside, block the turn in, the corner's all yours. Now, I don't know whether there's a strategy at play, but Tony Kloosterman now 3.2 seconds behind this group. Not doing much about the gap either, so I don't know whether that's a tactic.
Tony's not a fuel saver, is he?
He's not normally, no. I don't know why he would suddenly be, so yeah, you're probably right. It's pure pace then, is it?
It's got to be, you would have thought. Watch Tony prove me wrong.
Looks like Mary's let Chris out the cellar, by the way.
Oh, yes. So Vincent's sadly tech issues for me as I was waiting to grid. iRacing wouldn't save anything. Then lost all my controls and didn't save them when I tried to config them. Okay.
Tyler definitely thinks, or his car behaviour looks like, he can definitely get a move done in a Ascari. Sorry, not Ascari, that's the wrong track. Estoril.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was alluding to. That, you know, although Stephen wants that wide turn-in to try and straighten it up a little bit, if Tyler can get his nose even level with the back wheels of Stephen's car, he puts Stephen in a tricky position. If he still tries to make the apex, one or both of them are going to go off.
Yeah. Looked like Ant Woodward putting a load of pressure on Tony. Still doing it, and now Nikolai's getting involved.
They're all back together again.
Yep. Formation flying here for NQR.
Tony's moved. Did Tony move out of the way? I'm not sure if he did.
He was definitely on the wrong side of the track for racing, if you know what I mean. Hang on. This picture's wrong. Stephen Phillips and Tyler are both ahead of Bob Woodhouse, so I think there's been a slowdown. Let's watch the car at the top of the screen. Oh no, they just... it must have been before that, and it's not on my event tracker. It's definitely slow down activity, isn't it?
Yeah, it didn't
Same
look like there was
corner again,
anything wrong.
No.
Didn't look like he'd made a mistake there and scrubbed speed. It looked like he was purposely scrubbing speed to try and serve a slowdown.
Yep. So a few drivers getting caught out by it. We've had Kenzie, we've had Tyler, we've now had Bob Woodhouse. Stephen moves into... Ooh, Tyler, where are you off?
Oh, Tyler,
Oh dear. He got that one very wrong. Ooh, a little bit of inappropriate touching, maybe. Certainly a 0x, I would think. Tyler comes out on top in that little exchange.
That little incident with Bob, I was actually looking at the leaderboard to see what NQR car was being lapped by Stephen and Tyler.
Right.
Didn't actually realise that it was Bob Woodhouse serving a slowdown.
Right. This is a replay of Tony getting out of the way of Nikolai.
He's got something going on there.
Yeah, maybe so.
He got out of the way for Anne, and he got out of the way for Nikolai.
He still races with VR, does he?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. So, question from Chris. Warm weather. Track temperature is, I'm just going to go and find it, 37 degrees and dropping.
Bob Woodhouse got a hell of a wiggle on there.
Did he? I wasn't looking at that. Bring up the track map for you. So this is Eric Blixt 6 seconds behind the race leader, with Kenzie Newhoff very slowly making his way forward towards him. Although last lap he was over half a second faster. And then we've got 3 seconds to this group of 3 cars now. Stephen Phillips, Tyler Newitt and Bob Woodhouse.
Yeah, these 3 are going to be at it for a while.
When are we predicting first pit stops are? Because we've done 14 laps of around about 72, you said, didn't you? Ish.
Yeah, somewhere between 70 and 72. Obviously, if you split the race into anybody 2 pit stopping is going to have to go to minute 40.
Okay.
Anyone 3 stopping, obviously a minute 30 is the optimum for tyre wear. Adam Wright says that he had an RCB trip.
A what?
Circuit breaker.
Oh, circuit breaker.
So obviously lost all electricity to something that probably included his router.
Yeah. The Mew on the chat asks, is Simon so far ahead that he's now at round 11 of the season? That's quite good, actually. Not yet is the answer. He's only at 6 seconds.
Yeah, it's a long drive to round 11.
It is, yeah. Australia. Still on these 2. There is a battle further back, but it's an NQR battle. So that's Nikolai chasing Tony, and then...
Yeah, well, they were reversed, weren't they? Tony let Nikolai go.
Yeah, and then I think he's got it back recently.
Nikolai's back behind Tony.
Yeah, this is Tony taking it back. Let's just see if there's anything in it. Oh, Nikolai's got to slow down. I just saw him go over that curb pretty badly. Oh no, and he sailed it. Yeah, he sailed it into 180 as well.
Hot there, didn't he? Yeah.
Now, on certain tracks, I don't know whether anybody else has noticed this, if you do take a ridiculous line into another corner, you know, a super wide line, you can burn off your slowdown a lot quicker.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
I don't know why that happens, but it does. I'm sure Tyler will come up with a scientific version of what I've just said, but it's been used before. I've heard other drivers state it in officials. As Nikolai has a good stab for a proper racing position now on Tony. Ooh, and then gets a back full of wheel spin.
Jamie Wilson is now very interested in both of these two.
Yep. I'm keeping an eye ahead as well on the timing screens because everything's gone red on me again. Such as the want of V8 drivers. They have little quiet areas and then they all get on it at the same time. And even the second and third position are closing in on one another again as Kenzie closes in on Eric Blix. This is on here. You'd think though, surely Tyler's got in. Oh no. I thought he'd have enough room just to get alongside there.
Well, I'm sort of wondering, and again, I shall get proved wrong straight away.
Yep.
Is Tyler using Stephen for the fuel save?
Well, we saw him off the gas hugely going into Adelaide. I don't know whether he's doing the same treatment on other corners. I noticed that his rear brakes weren't lighting up like Blackpool Tower in the same way that Stevens were, so maybe he's coming off the gas super early, easing into the corners. Let's have a look. Let's wait and see. I mean, if there's a chance of a two-stop, if anybody's going to take it, he will. And that was Kenzie in the foreground, or in the background rather.
Yeah, and
Sliding
Tyler has
sideways.
put the move on Stephen Phillips. Like I said, he would prove me wrong straight away.
And I just missed everything looking at the wrong battles each time. So let's have a look at the Tyler one.
Yeah, just done him under brakes down the inside. Forced him out wide on exit.
Yeah, nice overtake. It's like Kenzie before, wasn't it? Very nice. And then got a good launch as well. Very nicely done. So if Tyler was fuel saving, he's not allowed to now.
I think Stephen will be a little bit upset with that move. Not anything that Tyler did, but the fact that he left the door open after he'd done so well to stay in front.
Yeah.
More angry with himself than anything
Oh,
else.
there's the first visitor.
Yeah, so that's Bob Woodhouse. So yeah, he's definitely 3-stopping.
As is Team Boss.
As suspected, Tony wasn't saving fuel.
Yeah. Oof. Stephen had to straight line the last bit, I think.
Yeah, he was getting a bit close.
Oh, hang on. I literally just missed this. I got there late on the scene. Oh, it's is it another slowdown being served?
Nikolai again, and that's Tony going wide. Oh, little love tap there.
Yeah, that was just confusion, I think that was. With one car going to the pits and being wide, the other two didn't know what was going on, and then we had a collision as a result. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think so. And, I think Nikolai obviously didn't realise where Jamie was, tried to take his normal line into the corner. They touched. Nikolai has sort of put his hands up and said, no, go on, you go.
Yeah.
And that was it. Sorted out. So according to the Mew, Bob's going for the undercut. It's going to be a hell of an undercut.
It's going to be a monster undercut, isn't it? Biggest undercut anybody's ever seen evers. Even in Undercutville.
Tyler eking away from Stephen.
Yeah, he's starting to stretch the legs on that Mustang.
Oh,
Or maybe not.
bit of a lock
Oh,
up
and
there.
the same from Stephen behind, in sympathy.
Yeah. Yeah, Stephen had to straighten the wheels up there, otherwise he was away.
Yeah. Half the skill in this car is saving the disasters. And there is a massive skill to it. When the car starts to behave, you know, like it's sliding or it's going to snap on you or spin, these guys have got it down, really. For me, it was just slam the brake or hit the gas and hope. Never really got a handle on it.
There's two distinct ways, isn't there, of making this car fast. The fastest way, and I always stick to it, is smooth.
Yep.
You know, you go on board with somebody, you watch the steering wheel, and if they're turning right and they're in a right-hand turn, I think he may have got away with that.
Legend, or did he get a naughty point?
Yeah.
He might have done, you know, dangerous pit entry or something. So I was just about to say, whilst you were talking about that, that Jamie Wilson's car has left front damage after that contact with Nikolai Bogatyrev. Nikolai's right-hand side, you can see it there, is all scraped up.
Yeah, Jamie is in the pits.
Yep.
Yeah, so as I was saying, you know, the drivers that drive quickly, consistently, are just smooth. Now, you can do a one-lap wonder in this car, but you can always tell, again, from the steering wheel, you know, you can drive it quickly, right-hand turn, and the steering wheel keeps flicking left, and, you know, the car control is absolutely fantastic, but it just murders your tyres, and you can't do it for a full stint.
Now, I didn't think Eric Blix, what a wonderful bit of car control there, who's sliding sideways but still keeping the pace on. I didn't think these guys would have the opportunity to fuel save, these two, because they started pulling away from that pack behind them. But they've not pitted yet.
No, but I'm guessing... there we go.
There we go.
I was just going to say I'm guessing one or both of them will come in on this lap, but I didn't quite get to finish my prediction that came true.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking at definitely Tyler Newitt, and what has Simon been able to do up front, because the gap is growing. Kenzie's in the pits, as we know. Is he managing to save fuel as well?
If he is, then he's doing it while he's setting the best lap of the race.
Yeah, I'm not convinced he is. I think he's just gone, nah, do you know what? Let's not worry about it. Let's three-stop it and just go as quickly as we can.
Yeah.
Kenzie pit exit.
In front of Bob Woodhouse, but not by much. The undercut that the Mew predicted for Bob has worked somewhat. He's definitely closed, but
he's going to suffer for it at the end of the stint, isn't he?
Yeah, it's going to knock on for him, isn't it?
It's interesting there, just watching Kenzie come out of the pits. You can't actually join the track properly until you're about a third of the way round that corner.
That's right, it's in the middle of the corner once you get free of the blue line cone, yeah. Jamie under braking. His car still looks all snarled up on the front left.
Yeah, I don't think that's something you would use your fast repair for, is it?
No. Eric Blixt into the pits for his scheduled stop.
Yeah, didn't think he would be one that tries to two-stop it, so that's your main culprit.
Ant Woodward's still out as well. I don't know how good a fuel saver he is. I don't have that knowledge in my head, funnily enough.
Yeah, I must admit, I wouldn't put Ant down as a fuel saver either. He's a hard charger.
Yeah. Nikolai Bogatyrev is still to show. And he's been battling, so I don't think he's been fuel saving anything. Rob Van not far behind him, similar early on, but he's had calm race since that point, I think. And then we're into the people who've already stopped, which is Kenzie is the first on the list.
Yeah, I would expect the majority of the 3 stoppers, if they haven't already, will be pitting this lap.
Yeah. So Bob Woodhouse pitted 4 laps before Eric blitzed and has ended up ahead of him, but his tyres are going to be pretty shot a lot earlier, right?
Yeah, he's going to suffer for that. Maybe not in this stint, because again, he coming in 4 hours, 4 laps earlier than Eric. But one of these stints, he's going to have to go long.
Yeah.
And
Balance
that's where
the
he's going to be
equation.
a
Yeah.
sitting duck.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's another tactic. You know, if you can annoy the driver behind you on the newer tyres, to the point that they use their tyres up quickly, you know, you can even it up a bit.
Yeah, we don't often see that, though, do we, in this league? Although, you know, ooh, that was a lot of curb.
It was. Did he get away with it? He must have done.
Yeah,
he's
'cause
still
he's
charging.
He's not slowing it up at all.
Left. Yeah, he's got that done.
Yeah. But, yeah, we don't often see a lot of tactical defending so much, do we? We see people keeping to their own bit of the track, as it were.
Yeah. But there's really only a couple of places on this track that warrants defence, isn't there? So.
Sorry, am I reading the gap at the front right?
Yes.
Right. 19.8 seconds.
But Simon hasn't pitted yet.
No.
Neither has Tyler or Nikolai or Rob.
No, there's quite a few this time. There's a big division in the pit stop strategies. Even Miro Hraski, albeit that he's at the back of the field, and he's still going. He's still going to get really good points, but he's not pitted yet. Ooh, Eric, where are you off, mate? No, he's pulled it back. That's good.
That gifted the position back to Rob again. So Anne and Nikolai are in.
Yeah, just watching where Rob was. Yeah.
A couple of minutes short. Tyler is still out, as is Simon. So I think those two.
Oh, here we go. We're on here again. That's Eric taking the position back into turn 1. Done out of the last chicane.
Maybe Simon in this lap. A lap later.
Tell you what, these two NQR cars of Ant Woodward and Nikolai have fallen quite a long way back from Jamie Wilson. Weren't they battling with Jamie?
Yeah, but Jamie did pit.
Oh, he did it. Pitted early, didn't he? Yeah.
So
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Good call.
that will come into the equation now, but even itself up later.
Just watch that Eric overtake. I think it started at the chicane. Yeah. He takes such a massive amount of the second part of that curb. I can't believe he's not getting a slowdown, because we've seen others get it. Job done.
Yeah, so I think both Simon and Tyler are two-stopping.
I mean, that's impressive from Simon, isn't it? You know, hot lapping the fastest lap of the race, etc., whilst fuel saving enough to stretch it right out. Very impressive.
Ooh, Tyler's just got it all wrong.
Got the Adelaide hairpin.
Mm.
Oh, in fact, he got it so wrong, it's actually declared him as crashed on SDK. So this
Yeah,
is
it didn't look pretty.
brake bias braking, is it? Back end's trying to swap? Oh no, he's just run out of room.
Front end didn't bite, did it?
No, that's a curious one. No harm done though, apart from some very warm tyres. Miro Roski has entered the pits.
Well, that'll be interesting, because if Miro is two-stopping, I wonder if that's going to gain him anything.
Yeah, it might, you know.
Simon
Ooh, who's
is
that?
in.
Oh, that's Simon, right. Okay, yeah, cool. Tyler goes again, does he? Oh, no, not yet. He's not quite. Oh, he's got 20 seconds yet. Oh, here we go.
In.
And that might also bring Rob Venn to pit road as well, who has yet to pit.
So we could have 4 cars two-stopping here.
Yeah. And yes, Rob Venn is also in. So Kenzie absolutely ragging it. Oh, this is going to be quite tight here.
Yeah, that's not going to worry Simon at all.
He's going to have super good tyres compared to Kenzie, isn't he? Look at that!
Yeah, super cold tyres.
Yeah, but they can be pretty grippy in the V8. Nice. Bit of braking, that's lovely. Cut back maybe? He's not going to have the rear grip, is he? No, and Simon's away?
Kenzie didn't fight that too much.
No.
Tyler came out in 7th.
Right. So that doesn't sound so good, does it? When you say it, but
it doesn't.
There's tactics in it, so
you know he's gonna make. I don't know what these guys losing on pit lane, but he's gonna make that back.
So full pit lane time it'll be is for the really quick ones, 46 seconds.
So Tyler's going to get that back over everybody in front of him, apart from Simon.
Yeah. Which puts him in second place.
Second place, yeah.
And there's not a lot anybody can do about it now. Once you're onto with a 2 to 3 stop strategy, once you've played your hand, that's it, right?
It's very difficult to. You can switch from a 3 to a 2.
Yes.
Sorry, you can switch from a 2 to a 3.
Yeah, that's actually what I thought you said, but yeah, go on.
It's very difficult to switch from a 3 to a 2. Not without losing a shed load of time.
Yeah. Now Tyler's taking that express route across that second set of curbs at the chicane. So some people seem to just get it a little wrong, don't they, and incur that slowdown.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, you hit the nail on the head right near the start. It's the first part of the chicane that denotes whether you get a slowdown on the second part of the chicane. Because if you get the first bit right, you know exactly how much you can cut off on the second part.
Yeah.
If you get the first part wrong, the car decides on how much you cut off the second part.
Yep. And it's all to do with like how much of the centre plane of the car is over the white line and all that. So it must manoeuvre your car enough that you're in that violating zone, as it were.
Well, you know, whilst you've got one or both of your front wheels off of the ground, you ain't doing any turning.
It's true, yeah. So this is Tyler on super good feel goods. Closing in very rapidly on Tony Kloosterman and wasting no time.
Yeah,
ooh,
job done.
Ooh, has he? You sure? There we go.
Tony did fight it.
He did. And he's still fighting it now, I think. Oh no, just about got ahead. Oh, and then swung it in a bit deep, but he's straightened it out. Jamie Wilson's not that far behind these two. He's moved forward quite a lot since that pit stop. I know he pitted early, or earlier, I should say. He's not the earliest. He pitted on lap 18. Earliest pit stops was 16.
And hot breaking news from me as well. I have a new favourite driver name.
Right. Is it for yourself or someone else?
No, it is a real life driver.
Oh, go on.
You know, there's been some, racing names. So Scott Speed, bit of a dick, but good name for a race car driver.
Uh-huh.
Funnier ones like Cole Trickle.
Yeah.
Sterling Marlin, another good one.
Yeah.
But there is a guy in IndyCar now called Stingray Rob.
Stingray what?
Stingray Rob.
Right. Take it that's not his nickname.
No, that's his real name as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
Makes me want to turn the clock back 25 years and rename my son Stingray.
Simon Trundle's just done the fastest lap of the race again. Eric Blix is definitely closing on Kenzie.
So for the people on the chat, rack your brains. What is your favourite driver name? Ooh, Eric was very deep on the brakes there.
Yeah. And he
with
had
the front of the car twitching.
Yeah, I was saying he's turned up the wick for sure, but that's too much, isn't it? That was a lot of curb there as well. He's getting, I mean, he's not in desperation station, but he's definitely hanging it out there. The news says wasn't Cole Trickle from Days of Thunder.
Yes, he was, but you've got to remember that Days of Thunder is real.
Of course.
There was a Dick Trickle, weren't there? That's a real.
No,
real
it's
driver.
not. That's a wind-up name like Phil McCavity or something like that.
No, honestly, Dick Trickle.
I have a biggin and stuff. That can't be a real name. I've worked with some people, so I'm obviously not going to say the names. And you think your parents had a really good sense of humour. If you type that into your computer, you're going straight to prison. You know that.
Dick Trickle Death. There we go. He was definitely a race car driver. And you shot yourself.
It's funny, there's quite a lot of sports people end up doing
NASCAR
that.
legend Dick Trickle. There you go.
So we had your cakes today?
No, not yet.
No. Do you know what cake you're due?
Carrot cake.
Oh, very nice. Homemade or purchased?
No, homemade.
Oh, very, very nice. Tony Klusterman super wide there at 180. And is slowly dropping towards the clutches of Jamie Wilson. For those new to watching V8, especially on endurance races, this fragmenting of the field is a feature. It's just what happens. Everybody's on different strategies and it pulls the field apart. But they will undoubtedly, because it always happens, pile up and get super competitive again towards the end of the race and give me a headache in terms of where I'm pointing the camera. The Muse says a lot of NASCAR drivers were from the deep south, US, weren't they? I wonder how many Billy Bobs there were.
Well, there was a Dick Passwater.
Shut up.
Honestly.
Deary me. Oh,
And I also forgot Will Power.
oh, Will Power, yeah.
What about Duck Waddle?
Stop it. It's not a real one.
It is.
This was Tyler and Tony.
Oh, his actual name was Gordon, but they called him Duck.
Deary me. Oh, this is unusual and unexpected. So, as I just said, Jamie was closing in on Tony.
Slow down.
I don't think it is.
No, it's not a slow down. He went in there full speed.
And then did a...
Full speed and some.
Yeah, did some farming and then returned to racing. How's your farming going, by the way?
Absolutely awesome. I'm raking it in.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Ba-bum-tsh.
I am a professional cow farmer.
Cows, right, okay.
Yeah.
Is that because you don't need any actual machinery for it? Oh, you do, don't you? You need
You do.
milking and stuff.
Yeah. That's really good.
Cool. I shall join you on that once payday has arrived. Can you not just tether other items of equipment to the controls? Do you have to buy the actual gear?
What?
Because you bought the controller, haven't you?
I have, yes. Yeah, I'm sure you can use your steering wheel and pedals.
Yeah. To drive your cow.
You can buy the you can buy that controller separate. So
Yeah. It's a nice line that Ant Woodward's got through that corner. A little bit wider, but it means he can carry a lot more speed. Oh, and look at Jamie struggling on those tyres, isn't he? Probably all the treads. Well, there's no tread on him, is there? He's covered in mud now after his little journey into the wilderness.
yeah, and certainly able to take better lines, isn't he?
Yeah. And we mustn't forget that Jamie's currently driving injured, as far as I'm aware. You were wondering whether it was an injury due to self-gratification, weren't you?
Yeah, it was a dolphin polishing accident.
Both cars a bit twitchy coming off whatever that turn is.
Yeah, well, don't forget the 3 stoppers, which both of these are, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're only about 6.5 minutes away from their second stop there or thereabouts. They can, judging by the first round of pit stops, they can probably come in 5 minutes earlier, stay out 5 minutes later.
Well, the first visitors...
window will be, what, 55 to an hour and 5?
Yep. First visitors last time was Bob Woodhouse and Tony on lap 16.
Which would mean, see, I can't see them pitting this lap because they're going to have to go so long.
And after Ant has caught up with Jamie, either Jamie's decided, you know what, I'm off, or he's a bit like a dog chasing a car. He's got there and now he doesn't know what to do with it once he gets it.
Yeah, he might get his tyres cleaned up.
Yeah.
You never get them back fully, but you can certainly make them a bit better.
Yeah. Right, we've got some cars getting a bit closer together. Stephen Phillips and is that Stephen Phillips and Tyler again?
Tyler is catching him, yeah. Obviously, Stephen coming towards the end of his the end of his tyre run.
Yeah.
Tyler is not even halfway into his second stint.
So Stephen pitted on lap 18 last time with Jamie Wilson. Stephen Phillips has got just 2 seconds separating him from Tyler now.
Yeah, Tyler's been hunting him down over the last 4 or 5 laps.
Both of these cars are catching Tony. He did have a little bit of what it called an off track, but it was only for 1 second, so I think it was a cut corner more than anything. But they're definitely catching up with him. Obviously, he's due in, isn't he?
Yeah, well, yeah, Tony's tyres are going to be toast, aren't they, at the moment?
Yeah. I mean, he's currently coming up to that pit stop turn, which is here, but he's going again.
Yeah, so he's already gone longer than his first stint.
Yes. So your leader is Simon Trendle. 3.7 seconds is his lead. That's Miro behind him, so don't get confused there. This is position number 2, Kenzie Newhoff, who has a 2.8 second lead over Eric Blixt. As Clyde said, he was absolutely rapid in the practice session, so he's got the speed in him. Whether he's got the tactics and the endurance is another thing. And then there's a big gap now, isn't there, Clyde? 6.5 seconds back to Bob Woodhouse.
Yeah, I believe Kenzie and Eric are fighting over the final step of the podium.
Oh, right, you think Tyler's going to take the second place?
If Tyler doesn't make any mistakes, I think his strategy will see him comfortably into second place.
Woodhouse has gone round again, as has Tony. So yeah, these guys are stretching out this second stint.
Yeah, it's all well and good taking those early pit stops, but it has to even itself out eventually.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're seeing at the moment. Although Bob doesn't seem to be struggling quite as bad as Tony is. I've only clicked on Tony a couple of times, but I've seen the rear end of the car wagging.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's seen the best of those tyres anyway, like we were saying a minute ago. But even when he had the grip, he does like to drive a car like that, though, doesn't he? A little bit wild, not like Chris Jackson wild. I mean, that was undrivable for some, wasn't it? His setups.
Oh dear, Alex is changing his tune.
Oh, is he really? Oh, Simon's too fast. Give him a balance of performance. Nope, we're going to sail away with our 50 quid that you're going to pay because you put on the wrong dude. Oh. So Tony, yeah, slowly slipping towards Jamie's clutches now. Oh, and here we go. Bob Woodhouse sneaking into
Bob
the pits.
Woodhouse, yeah. So that's literally bang on a 3-stop strategy, that.
Right. Tony's not doing it. He's going again.
No, you know, when you run this sort of strategy, your second stint, as long as you've got some sort of tyre under you, you want to run it as long as you possibly can to shorten up that final one.
Right.
You know, run long here, run long on the next one, and you know, try and get some time back on a short third stop.
Rob Venn having a reasonably quiet race, but his strategy is exactly the same as Tyler's, really, isn't it? So
Yeah,
he
again,
may get
that,
places at the end of this race.
Yeah, that should see him move up the leaderboard.
I think it's safe to say that Tony's been caught now, so my gut feel is we'll see him in this lap because any kind of fighting is only going to slow him down further, isn't it?
Yeah, Tyler's also caught Stephen but can't do anything with him at the moment, so that's a little bit of a negative for Tyler. Kenzie's in.
Is that early for Kenzie? And for Eric, actually. They've followed each other in.
Yeah, Jamie all over the back of Tony.
Oof, that's a lot of curb from Tony. Car really pitched up. In fact, they're both in. And Kenzie and Eric have still not left the pits.
Literally both came off the
I know.
tracks at identical moments there.
So, do you think Jamie should have been going further? Because he certainly had the speed advantage at that point over Tony, didn't he? And he's already moving.
He did, but that little farming exercise would have took some life out of his tyres that he probably just didn't like.
Yeah. That was Bob Woodhouse taking the position back from Rob Venn. Obviously, Rob's on a completely different strategy to Bob Woodhouse. So we're over the halfway mark now.
Yeah, and you can see that strategy working for Tyler now. Tyler's going to have one full pit stop around the 1 hour 20 minute mark.
He's not going to want Stephen Phillips in his way too much, is he?
No, he really wants Stephen to pit.
Yes.
But Stephen is doing what Stephen should do and try and extend this stint as far as he possibly can.
Nikolai's entered pit road. So we're in a similar situation as you'd expect to last time. A handful of cars stretching it out. That's Anne Woodward, Tyler Newitt, Stephen Phillips, Simon Trendle and Rob Venn. I think Tyler had a shot then and didn't manage it.
So anyone doing a 3-stopper, if they extend this run as much as they can, the next time they stop, or when they stop for their third stop, in theory, they're not going to take as much fuel, so they will gain a little bit of time back on the two stoppers.
Right, okay. Tyler really sizing Stephen up now. This is the closest battle on track. Don't come much closer than 0.1 of a second.
Yeah, Tyler really needs Stephen out of the way. I wouldn't say this is compromising his race, but
no.
It's
limiting
exactly
the advantage,
what
isn't it?
Kenzie and Eric would want.
Yeah. Certain portions of the track, Stephen Phillips is really quick. Like all the way through turn 1 into Estoril. And then Tyler's tyres seem to be really good in the tighter corners.
Yeah, but don't forget Tyler is also, you know, it's all right doing 2 stops, but it means you've got a fuel save probably for 3 stints.
Yeah.
So, you know, he can't go all out attack mode for very long, so he's got to choose his moment.
That's not an overtaking place really there. In a slower car you can maybe make it work, but not in these. Or definitely in a high downforce car you could make that work, but it's just basically a wooden plank on the back of the car, isn't it, these things?
Yeah, I've got a feeling we might see Stephen in this lap.
Last time he pitted on lap 18, he has stretched this stint massively. He's let him go, has he? Or has he cut him back? He tried to cut back, didn't he?
Yeah, Tyler was full beams there. You see the rear end wiggling.
Yeah.
Stephen, is he going to stay out?
This is the corner. No, he's staying out again.
He is staying out again.
Yeah. And Eric.
See how quickly Tyler pulled away there.
Yeah, it was huge. I switched to this pretty quick because this is Eric has caught Kenzie. I didn't expect this, to be honest. I don't think Alex expected this either because he's watching thinking Kenzie's on a winner and he's...
I think Eric has looked very quick on new tyres. It's as the run goes on, whether he uses too much of his tyre at the start of the run or whether he's just not as good on the used tyres.
Mm-hmm. Woodward getting out of the way, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, he's not part of that battle, even though that was the position on track.
Yeah. Again, multiple strategies at play. Is there anybody watching this wondering why there was no fight in there? It's not part of his fight today. Thought we might see an Eric attempt an overtake once they caught Ant, but because he got out of the way so deftly, there was no arguing, was there?
Yeah, he's not really been close enough to affect a move yet, has he?
No. And Kenzie, you have to say Kenzie does look more smooth than Eric in general. Kenzie's quite a smooth driver anyway, isn't he? Both of them taking masses a second curb there.
I think that was probably on the limit.
Yeah. was a good exit from Eric that time, but Kenzie just doing enough, getting enough traction to get away. Oop, and then vanishing and coming back again. And then sailed it in too deep into 180.
Yeah, and you can see how much that cost him just on that gap.
Massive. Over a second. So just to keep everybody up to date, we're still waiting for visit to pit road from Simon Trendle, your race leader. Tyler Newitt, who is provisionally in second, obviously, because he still owes us a pit stop. As he goes absolutely hooning it over that over that curb. As Stephen Phillips, who is going to be my next to mention, enters pit road. And then we're looking at Ant Woodward being the next one, and Rob Then being the last one.
I think Ant and Rob are on 2-stop strategies, aren't they? The same as Tyler and Miro.
Yes.
So they're not going to be in for probably another 10 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. So Stephen Phillips was the last of the
The
three stoppers.
Weren't he? Yeah.
This could play well into his favour, though, by what you were saying before.
I was going to say he's got some damage on the rear end of his car, but it's not as a dog.
Yeah.
It just looked like damage from a distance.
So where's he actually coming out? Just ahead of Tony and just behind Jamie. There's Jamie. But he's going to have super good tyres, isn't he? So he's got 5 lap fresher tyres than all the cars around him, Clyde.
Yes.
Let's see where Stephen Phillips can end up by the end of the race. So, further back.
Well, Stephen's tactic now, with another stop to go, should be to extend this run as much as he possibly can.
Right,
And
get a
really
squirt at the end.
Yeah, really shorten up that final stop.
Ooh, that's Tony going into a different postcode, I think. Intentional or not?
Yeah, hard to tell sometimes. But Tony hasn't been racing tonight, has he?
Less so than normal, I
He's
would
not-
say.
Whenever he's had a teammate behind him, he's not really fought them. He's sort of rolled over and had his belly tickled.
He was a bit quicker at the very start. He was like getting in the thick of it, and then that gap in front of him to, I think it was Tyler at the time, it just seemed to stretch out. We'll have to see what's going on there. Meanwhile, these two need to get a room, don't they?
Yeah,
Ooh, who was that?
I'm actually impressed that Eric is managing to hang on to the coattails of Kenzie.
Yeah.
Hopefully these two stay together all the way up to their final stop, and this could be the battle to watch in the closing stages.
I think it's going to be the battle to watch for a while, to be honest. Sometimes Eric looks like he's going to pull a move and then doesn't. Other times you think he's just weighing him up, or maybe even doing a bit of fuel saving himself, just a little bit.
Yeah, well, you know, there's still 45 minutes to go. So, you know, if Eric gets a 50-50, I don't think he's going to make anything of it at the moment. Get the final pit stop out of the way, and I think all bets are off then.
Yeah, because anything can happen in a pit stop, right? So you don't need to risk it for a biscuit in the actual race before that point. Yeah.
We've seen so many people win or lose positions in a pit stop.
And I think just based on that behaviour there that I've just seen, he was off the gas miles in advance of Kenzie. I think he's fuel saving in order to reduce his fuel requirement in the last stop.
Exactly, that
Yeah.
might be where the overtake happens.
Yeah. Pit lane overtakes.
Yeah, make Kenzie go as fast and as hard as he can, not be able to save fuel whilst saving a few litres yourself.
Yeah. You see other bits of the track, and Eric's kind of struggling to keep up with Kenzie, and then it kind of concertinas back up again elsewhere. I mean, they're in different manufactured cars, but we all know that these are identical, aren't they, in every way, shape and form?
Yes. Apart from the drivers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the different lines that get taken as we go way over the bumps. That was good. Holding station again at the moment. And Woodward gives us a pit stop. Is that early?
It's about 4 minutes early.
Take it the carrot cake turned up then. So folks, whilst Pride is stuffing his face, Simon Trendle is your race leader still. 32 seconds is his lead, nearly 33 now over Tyler Newitt. They're both on the same strategy. Tyler's got himself 13 seconds over Kenzie Newhoff, who is the first of the three stoppers, and he's obviously being chased by Eric, so the gap is nothing whatsoever, 4/10 of a second. And then that means that fifth is Bob Woodhouse. We've seen him fast on a number of tracks this season, at the end of last season. This must be one of his better ones, you would suggest, given he's the most forward placed of the NQR team. Sixth at the moment, but owing us a second pit stop, is Rob Venn on the two-stop strategy. So he's the one that I can't work out at the moment where he's going to end up. And then, oh, go on.
I think Rob might end up around 50, you know.
All right, okay. So the favoured strategy is the two-stop if you can manage it. I think that's the point, isn't it? If you can manage it.
Well, I've sort of unconvinced myself that second place isn't done and dusted now.
All right. How's that? Because Kenzie's putting in such fast laps.
It's 12.5 seconds at the moment.
Yep.
Sorry. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, 12.1 at the moment, but, you know.
Now, Kenzie's stop is going to be a lot shorter than Tyler's.
Yep.
And Kenzie is going to be on newer rubber than Tyler.
Yep.
So, it could be on for second place.
Right, okay. Let's see where that pans out then. So we've got 41 minutes of racing still to go, and a whole load of strategies that are still to play out. I'm not sure what Ant Woodward's strategy is now. He's pitted on lap 44. He's still got 41 minutes to go. Has he got to go again?
He's either not been able to save enough fuel in that stint and is,
Bailed out.
Yeah, and gone, you know what, I'm going to have to splash and dash at the end. Or his fuel saving is better than he thought. And he was like, well, actually, I can come in now, fill up, and still get to the end.
Right, yeah. Well, he's about to catch up with Tony Clouston. No, he's not. It's Jamie Wilson. No, who is that? Simon, of course, isn't it? A lap ahead. Yeah, sorry, me being stupid. I'm like, why is there a Chimera car in front of him? These two still, as they were, think that the longer this goes on, the more it turns into a pit lane overtake for Eric. I mean, last time they followed each other in and literally dropped off the jacks and went at exactly the same second. So there's not going to be much in it when they visit for the final time.
No, but every last little drop of fuel that Eric can save now will help to get him out in front.
Yeah. Oh, that was, again, that curve's vicious, isn't it? That's the one that I was saying on the onboard at the beginning. You avoid the first one and take more of the second one, and that's kind of why it's very violent. If you can control it, then fine, I guess. But it does kick the car right up in the air.
If you think about it, Kenzie's in a really tricky position. He either needs to save fuel now to make sure that Eric doesn't get the jump on him in the pits, but that then confines him to third place, because the only way he's going to beat Tyler for second is go like the clappers.
Yes. Yeah, he's got to outpace him, hasn't he, to
Yeah.
get the track position.
So he's either going to finish second or fourth.
Yeah. Miro has visited the pits for his second stop, is it?
Yeah, that bang on schedule.
Excellent. Well done, Miro. And just entering the pits is race leader Simon Trendle.
So Adam Wright is asking about track limit.
Be
And
as generic as possible.
Believe it or not, there isn't anybody in double figures.
Right.
And they do have an extra 5 to play with tonight.
So I'm determining this as being Tyler can't work out his own strategy, so he's just doing everything that Simon does. Is that what you're saying?
No, this is bang on schedule for the 3-stopper.
Damn it.
Two stopper, sorry.
Yeah, damn it. So you would expect also Mr. Venn to join that little train?
Yeah, and that'll be all of them. And now the battle will be on between Tyler and Kenzie. And we know Kenzie has got to make one more stop.
Yep. So there's Rob Venn
Throw
in.
Eric into that as well.
Yeah. Okay, so Tyler has rejoined, and he's going to rejoin behind Stephen Phillips, who he was fighting with right at the very beginning of the race. In fact, he's done this overtake 3 times now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, this will be 3 times.
And yet again, what's he got? I suppose Stephen's going to go for about another 10 minutes, maybe.
Yeah. Both of these have got Jamie Wilson in front. So Jamie Wilson last pitted on lap 36, Stephen Phillips on lap 41, Tyler on lap 48, and this is obviously lap 49 because Tyler's just come out of the pits. So quite a big differentiation in the tyre life. This lap, Tyler's probably got a little bit of struggles with some cold tyres. Shows his nose, tucks back in. Stay off that
Tyler
curve.
really needs to clear these two quickly.
Right, to make second an option. And he's done that overtake there a few times, so that's bread and butter for him. So that's 1 down. Don't know what, did he get a flash there for something? Let's have a look at the overtake again. Slings it in. Oh, I think it was a little touch, maybe. Nothing
I
serious
actually
though.
think he gave him a lot more room than
Yeah, there's plenty there.
previously.
Yeah. That doesn't always feel like that, does it? When you're in the race. Simon Trundle's already put Eric Blix behind him after coming out of the pits. We'll show you that in a second. It happened while we were watching the other one. Now with
Tyler, go on, sorry.
with fresh rubber, he's not going to take too long over Kenzie, is he? Is he that bothered though? Because he knows that the car in front's got a pit.
He could take as long as he wants.
Yeah. This might be an Adelaide hairpin attempt, maybe. Doesn't help when the car isn't there. And you don't know where it's going to return. Whoa, that's a big bit of curb from Simon. Really upset the car, that. Tyler knew it.
Yeah, he's on the back of Jamie Wilson.
Yeah.
Jamie is due in about 5 minutes, so Tyler really needs to get this done.
Just trying to. They're both equidistant from their targets, as it were. Kenzie's trying to make an issue with this. I'm going to have to go above. Oh, God. How did they not touch? Great cutback, though. And he's still making an issue of it. Wide and around the outside from Simon Trundle. Is he going to sweep across the front? No, he can't. He can't turn in properly. Great racing.
Bill, Tyler, and Jamie
Switch
into the
that.
Adelaide hairpin.
Joined it just at the right time. Jamie's
Jamie's going to try the switch back. He's not going to have the traction on the
No
older
way.
tyres.
huge amount of wheel spin on those older tyres. I think Nikolai Bogatyrov just pitted for the third stop.
Yeah, that's slightly early, but nothing major. Any of the three stoppers pitting now can make it to the end.
In fact, everybody's here.
Here we
Kenzie
go.
and Eric.
Kenzie and Eric. Right, did Eric manage to save some fuel?
That's a good point. I'll stay with these guys. I'll keep one eye open on Tyler. Tyler is making his way towards the penultimate turn. Car 77 on that track map in the right hand corner of your screen. Through the last chicane. And there goes Kenzie, there goes Eric. He didn't manage it.
No, he didn't.
And here comes Tyler, and that battle you were talking about is on, like, right now, Clyde.
Yeah.
Oh, Kenzie! Is that dangerous pit lane exit for crossing over the blue cone? Is it?
Possibly.
Yeah, it could be, couldn't it?
Tyler defending into the hairpin.
A cut back here from Kenzie. Oh, that's a lot of wheel spin.
I think that actually helped him.
Look at this rabble back here. Eric's got himself in a right mess back here. Oh, that's Stephen getting
Whoa,
well out of
that-
shape.
Yeah, that's not pretty.
No, let's have another quick look at that. So this is the start of it. Stephen on the outside of Eric into Adelaide hairpin. And Jamie, masterful on the brakes, gets it stopped, gets it tucked in and turned back. Bit of wheel spin makes him fall back. And something happens here somewhere. Oh, he gets a tyre off.
Brass.
Right.
Yeah.
then eventually makes it stick. Yeah. Okay. Hang on. Oh yeah. So Tyler stays ahead of Kenzie for now.
Yeah, and I've got no flag showing for Kenzie.
No. So that crossing the cone must be fine, as long as you don't go all four over or something like that, maybe. So they are queuing up now behind Tyler, aren't they?
We certainly are. This is the battle for second, third and fourth. It's very soon going to be a proper three-way battle.
So all pit stops for these cars are done. We've got 20-ish, 8 minutes-ish to race.
Yeah, look.
Oh,
that's
Eric.
on the third, which is going to please Tyler.
Yeah, gives him a little bit of breathing space. They are so very well controlled, all three of them through there, aren't they? Eric Blix with the fastest lap of the race at 1:39.9. Now, you were saying that in practice he was super rapid.
Yes. And on that last stint, he managed to hang on to Kenzie, didn't he?
Yeah. Quite comfortably, really, when you think about it. They pitted at exactly the same time. I thought he'd managed to fuel save a lot more, but he hadn't. Tyler having to go defensive. Oh, that's tears.
Come on. Come on.
Like to see that from overhead.
Yeah, we will.
First glance is that's all on Kenzie.
I think. Yeah. He's ended up behind him, so.
So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just
Braking
very late
point
in the break,
wrong.
wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as he stayed there and waited, I'm not sure. It kind of looked that way. So that stirs everything up, really, doesn't it? Because
Well, that's put Stephen Phillips up into third.
yeah, yeah,
Bob Woodhouse still owes us a pit stop.
correct, yeah. Ooh, Kenzie off in the background there with red hot front tyres. Pulled it back down though, so that's fine.
Jamie Wilson, Tony Clouston in the pit lane.
Yep. Who else have we got at the minute? So, yeah, that's... Well, Tyler's closing in on Stephen Phillips, but Stephen Phillips has he got another pit stop to give us? He has, isn't he? A splash and dash, we think?
No, I think
No?
Stephen's done, isn't he?
He's only done 2 stops.
Oh, yeah, then he's definitely got another one to come.
Yeah. So, Tyler... Well, Eric Blixt is kind of the big winner there, isn't he? Because it was like the parting of the seas for him. He's now got a comfortable 5 seconds, 6 seconds over Stephen Phillips behind him. And you would assume that second place is his to throw away. You can see the gap back to Stephen Phillips and Tyler. And then again, back to Kenzie. Now, Kenzie's got the pace usually to close in a gap like that very quickly, but his tyres will be rubbish for a few laps, I would think. There you go, there's evidence of it, locking up the front right.
Tyler, unless Stephen pits very rapidly, Tyler's going to have to overtake him for the 11th time today.
Yeah.
Go!
What was that?
Oh, I honestly thought Tyler was a goner then.
Oh, right.
That was on the curbs at the final chicane.
Yeah, it's brutal, isn't it? It really is. Alex on the chat says he's jinxed it. He feels bad. I wouldn't, because there's no such thing as jinxing. We're the only ones that issue the curses, aren't we, Clyde?
We are.
So, Rob there. Ooh, crikey. I joined that at the right time, didn't I? Jamie getting all sorts of out of shape, nearly ploughing into the back of Rob Venn's car.
So in theory, it should just be Stephen Phillips to stop now.
Let's have a quick look. Yep. Yep, because Rob and Miro are both on two-stop strategies, along with Simon, Trundle and Tyler. So this one is, I mean, Rob Venn's tyres are going to be fairly shot in comparison to Jamie's here. 6 laps difference in the tyres, is it?
Yeah, it shouldn't be too much of a difficult task for Jamie to get past, but
Adam on the chat says it's a great run by Rob.
well,
It really is.
Net 5th, isn't he?
He's talking about Rob Venn.
Oh, sorry. Wrong Rob, Bob.
And he's pulling away from Jamie now, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I can only see at the moment Rob losing those 2 positions to Jamie and Tony.
Oh, well,
But
you would,
we'll see.
yeah.
Tyler has just overtaken Stephen Phillips for the 237th time.
Someone needs to tell him he doesn't get extra points for overtaking the same driver multiple times. Let's have a quick look at it, because I got it off camera while I was watching Tony closing in on Jamie. Is that another Adelaide hairpin by any chance?
You better believe it.
Seen a few here. This isn't his usual place. His usual place is at the college turn, or whatever they call it.
Yeah, Stephen didn't put up too much of a fight there. He knows he's got another pit stop to come.
Yeah. So Jamie sorted himself out and got back onto the back of Rob Venn.
Well, Jamie wants to get it done because Tony's right on him now.
Yeah, they've both pitted on the same lap, so their tyres are going to be equally as fresh. Although Rob Venn is very good at being a good defensive driver, a fair defensive driver, so maybe it's not going to be as easy as we think. Curb for everybody. Not as much as some of the cars are taking though. These cars, they look amazing when they're in close pack racing, don't they?
They do. As long as they're pointed in the right direction.
And there goes Jamie. Not sure what Tony can do about... Ooh, look at that. Rob Venn on the brakes. Hello. Oh, I thought Tony was going to have a go at that.
Well, yeah, he tried.
He did try, yeah.
He ended up slightly outbraking himself.
Yeah. What a curve from Jamie there. I think Kenzie is closing in on Stephen again. But there again, Stephen still owes us a stop, right? So.
Yeah.
Thanks, hero.
I forgot to mute my in-game chat before the race, so everything will come through on the broadcast. I thought Tony was going to take him out there. He was so late on the brakes compared to Rob. Right, so as a reminder, Simon Trundle is your race leader. He has a gigantic 36-second lead and could probably pull over for a 3-course meal right now, rejoin and still win. Eric Blixt is in second place, gifted, one might say, by the incident between Kenzie and Tyler. Third at the moment, 9 seconds we'll call it, further back down the road, is Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler's not making any impressions on Eric.
No. And he won't either, will he? Because his tyres will be older now.
Yeah.
This is a heated discussion, but it really has to break up when Stephen eventually pits the car. Leaving Kenzie to take 4th place, you would think. And Bob Woodhouse, having a great race again, should potentially mop up 5th. And that is your top 5/6.
Yeah, that was...
That was a send from a week back.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of those moves that Tony would moan about if it was done to him.
Yeah, probably. Oh, apparently I need to let this run on, so we're going to watch it again, because yes, it was a send from way back. I mean, he did get it stopped, did use Rob's car a little bit to turn, but we need to watch Rob for a bit longer, I think. Oh, maybe not. That's weird. It's got that Tony overtook him and then Rob crashed. Weird.
Maybe it was the touch that they had.
Yeah. Nice and sun underneath him. Oh, a bit of a hip check there.
Yeah, that's not going to bother Stephen too much. That's not his battle.
No. Made a lot easier if Kenzie does that. Oh, now they're back on it again. Kenzie's through again. It's fair enough. So, 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, I was trying to work out what action are we going to get? Where is Stephen Phillips going to come out?
He will come out. Well, if I read,
Definitely behind Bob Woodhouse.
yeah. I mean, it depends what he's got to do for.
He might get out in front of Nikolai.
Here he
We're about
comes.
to find out.
Depends how much he's got to put on board, doesn't it? I mean, he's going to lose.
Well, he's not going to need a great deal, is he? But he's obviously going to take tyres.
Yeah, he's up off. He's on the jacks at the minute. Nikolai, where's Nikolai? A couple of turns away. There's one of them, and then the chicane is here. Stephen's moving though already.
Yeah.
So he's going to be out ahead of Nikolai, which is exactly what you just said, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lose a place to Bob. Get out in front of Nikolai.
Super feel goods, and off he goes. Yeah, because he's almost that full big long straight away from Bob Woodhouse now, so 16 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're going to make that up.
No. So you can't argue with Simon Trundle's imperious performance here, can you?
Well, no, I'm just... Kenzie is closing on Tyler.
Yep, nearly a second the last lap.
That battle might come to fruition before the end.
It is a 6-second gap. And why is Kenzie rolling slow?
Yeah, I was going to say.
He's out of fuel. Is he? No, not out of fuel. Is he racing VR and his VR set's failed?
Oh, he's still taking corners.
Yeah, but it was very weird the way his car was behaving a minute ago. That was like technical issues. He's not on the gas properly either. Unless he's eating his dinner while he's racing. He's just done one of the faster laps of the race and now he's kind of coasting. Don't get it, do you?
No. Definitely something going on.
Yep. Oh god. Oh god. Oh no. Right. So he's reset.
He's gone.
He's gone?
Yep.
As in gone.
Gone.
Oh wow.
He's not just out, he's out.
He's taking his front door key with him. Is that a disconnect? Manual?
Yes, that was rage quit.
Wow, that's a spectacular one then. So, that means that Tyler Newitt is safe, unless something weird happens for Tyler. Into third place, Bob Woodhouse promoted to fourth, and rounding out the top five will be Stephen Phillips.
Yeah, who is just done his pit stop.
He's got Bob Woodhouse to chase down, but I mean that's 14 seconds. That's not happening anytime soon.
No, the last 10 minutes of this race, it doesn't look like we're going to have any close battles, does it? It looks like, well, I say that. Jamie Wilson's always got a mistake in him.
Tony Kloosterman, who also has mistakes in him, is only 2 seconds back down the road. Maybe when those two get together, the odds are increased.
Yeah, you would expect Jamie to drive away on tonight's performances, but like I say, there may still be something in this for Rob Venn.
Yeah, there could be something to mop up here. I'm just curious on Kenzie's quit. I don't understand that.
The rage quit, yeah, fair enough. We've all been there. It was what was going on before.
Yeah, very strange.
Jamie Wilson catch Nikolai. That may be a battle.
He's taking 0.3 of a second out of him at the minute for a few laps. It's 2.6 seconds the gap, so. Oh. When you get 3 warnings that say the same thing about a driver, it's not usually that good, is it?
No. Or it could be nothing.
Or it could be nothing in true SDK fashion.
Is this Ant Woodward?
Yep.
He's going on there. Outbraked himself. Is he going to do it again?
I don't know. All 3 of these warnings were in the same sort of second.
Yeah, no,
that
it
was
must have just been all on that one thing. So, let's see if anybody's likely to get on the naughty step. Doesn't really look like it. We've got one driver on 15.
Mm-hmm.
But there's only just over 7 minutes to go.
Whoa, Jamie. Sliding sideways. Nice style points. Not going to do your tyres much whack.
No, that's not going to get him any closer to Nikolai either.
No, they haven't crossed the line again since. Oh yes, they have. Sorry. And yeah, he was 0.4 quicker last lap round. Probably lost that just there. Yeah, the news says, pleased for Bob going to get P4, but feeling bad for Kenzie if it was technical.
It certainly looked technical,
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
it?
definitely.
So, well, the first part of it.
Yeah.
Whether he was still fiddling with something, we won't know.
No, and he'd been over those curbs in that fashion a number of times, and to lose it on that occasion after the weird behaviour of the car would make you believe that something really was going on. So we'll find out one day, I'm sure. Oh.
Hello?
Yeah. That's
Mr.
not
Woodward.
that's not the racing line, Ant. Oh wow. Oh, he's having his own technical issues apparently. Tokyo drifting it. Eh? Alright, somebody's going to have to explain this one.
Yeah, that
That's like someone who's got all the
looked on
acceleration or none of
purpose,
it.
didn't it? Yeah.
Like a potentiometer that's broken or something. No, and then he's back normal racing again.
Yeah,
Hey,
no,
it's good, isn't
that looked like he was maybe trying something for the cameras. I don't know.
it? Strangest thing to try.
Well, he certainly wasn't going to lose places behind him.
Yeah, so Nikolai very much getting caught now by Jamie. I don't know whether there's enough racing left though. There's only what's
Just
that
under
going to be?
5 minutes.
3 laps,
Yeah.
depending on when Simon crosses the line.
And then, don't forget, there's that that mental thing, isn't there? That if you're looking at your relative and you're seeing those lap times come down, you drive slower if you're being chased.
Yeah. Because you're watching the mirrors as well as the relative, as well as everything you shouldn't be looking at, not the road in front, which you should be looking at. So, what's that? Another 2/10 is not going to be enough unless he really does put his foot down now and does some seriously smooth racing, Jamie Wilson.
I expect Miro will get out of the way.
Yeah. Jamie's close by another 10th or so, but I think he'll lose that here because there's no way past Miro in this section, even if Miro wanted to let him go, is there? Oh yeah, there. Sorry, I thought it was.
Yeah,
I thought we were
apart
on
from that bit.
Yeah, apart from that bit, I thought we were on a turn further on. I thought we were on this one actually, because then it cuts back to the chicane again.
Yeah, Jamie's giving it everything, but he just hasn't got the tyres under him.
No, this is not a replay of what I've already shown. Something's going on front Woodward, definitely.
That's just and trying to drift round corners.
Do you reckon?
Yes. Some people will do anything for a bit of attention.
Yeah, and Jamie's lost a bit of time passing Nero to Nikolai.
Yeah, it's just under 2 seconds. Is Simon? He's there. So I think Simon will take the white flag this time round. And there's Barnaby.
Yeah, white
There he
flag.
is.
So Simon's got to be careful here. He's only got 37 seconds to play with.
Yeah, it's tight. Rob Venn leading the race.
Yeah. Simon doing nothing silly as he's keeping it safe. He doesn't need to overtake anybody, does he? So
If I was Simon, I wouldn't overtake him. I would be like, no, you go and do another lap.
yeah, I think that's what's happening. Oh, maybe not now. 'Cause Rob got a bit of wheel spin there. The Muse says with that gap, he's finished round 10 and 10 and 11 and leading round 12. You have to find some good superlatives for this, Clyde.
Yeah. Definitely a cracking drive by Simon and thoroughly deserves the win, but I think the talking points were further back.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Eric's had a very good race. I know things have fallen in his favour, but as I always say, you've got to be in the right place at the right time to take advantage of those things when they happen.
Yep, absolutely. And he really was there. He had a ringside seat. He's trying to do drifts now, which I've seen these go wrong before.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Especially, I can say it now. It's alright, he was only on 15.
Alright.
He'd have been on 18 and lost it.
Yeah.
He would have ended up with the time penalty.
Yeah. Third place for Tyler.
Yeah, I think for Tyler that wasn't too bad. Even, the incident with Kenzie, he's probably not going to like me saying this, but I think it helped him.
Right.
I think he could have quite easily lost out to Kenzie and Eric, and ended up fourth. So.
3 cars over the line, 4 cars over the line. After 2 hours, just, what's that, 3 seconds apart?
Yeah.
And still going. I've got a couple of cars.
No, I think
No,
that's it.
no, he's already been over the line. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
There's no jump here for anybody to do, so that's that is that, I think.
Yes.
Maybe not. It's not gone official.
Interesting.
Yes, it has.
Okie dokie. So your official result for round 10 of the Simability V8ESC. Another win for Simon Trendle, Team Chimera. Eric Blixt, second place. Oh, hello. What's
sorry.
Pete doing here?
Sorry.
It's all going a bit Pete Tong. There we go. Second place, Eric Blixt, Alcantech NHR by Nyman Racing. Third, Tyler Newitt, BSTV Esports Green. Fourth, Bob Woodhouse for NQR Europe. Fifth was Stephen Phillips for Dashhound Racing. Sixth was Nikolai Bogotyrev for NQR Europe. Seventh, Jamie Wilson, Team Chimera. And eighth, Tony Kloosterman, Never Quit Racing. Rob Venn was ninth for BSTV Esports Green. And Ant Woodward was 10th for NQR Europe. Your final finisher was Miro Hraski for PCS. And those that didn't finish but still classified, 12th, Kenzie Newhoff.
That'll be it. Because the other two didn't feature, did they?
No, they didn't. They didn't take the start, did they?
No.
So that was it.
Right. Let me go and try and do what I was trying to do before, thinking it wouldn't affect anything, and clearly it would. Right. Let's empty that out.
Right.
Do a bit of
So
this.
let's have a look. Let's bring it. I'll tell you what. I'll let you kick off the interviews, Pete.
Oh, good. Who
And,
do I get?
you can have third place, Tyler Newitt. Welcome to the booth.
Oh, hello.
Good evening, Tyler. An early interview, seeing as our race winner isn't in the booth. Your two-stop strategy. We were trying to calculate where you'd come out. Clyde thought you'd come out second. I didn't have a clue because you know what I'm like. I've not got a clue at the best of times. Then Kenzie got into you. He's already been on the chat and you've already responded. So, it was getting a breaking point very, very wrong. I'm sure you don't need to see it because you were there firsthand.
Yeah, it's just a shame, you know. It's one of those I'd rather have finished fourth and have a good race than that, you know.
Yeah.
It's I felt pretty good about my chances to hold off Kenzie and Eric. I felt like I was good in the right places, but it was going to be tough with that much of the race left. And you know, I didn't do anything different than I'd done the couple of laps before that Kenzie was trying to get me. I think he was just getting the pressure from Eric and misjudged it a bit. So
Yeah,
it's a shame. I have to say I didn't particularly enjoy this race very much. So
is that
on to the next one.
due to the track or
Yeah,
car combination or?
It's certainly not the car. I mean, this car makes anywhere fun, right? But it's you know, the track. The first sector is great, and then it's just hairpin chicane, and it's not super conducive to good racing. I felt like, you know, you could make passes, but it was the same pass every time for me. You know, it was either the hairpin or it was that kind of corner on the back half of the track. So
Same pass on the same driver every time.
yeah, gosh, I heard you mention, you know, we should get points for every overtake on the same driver, and you know, for forever, call it the forever behind Stephen Phillips award or something. But it was. I mean, you know, Stephen's great to race with. He certainly, you know, gave me room every time, and he squeezed me a little wide on the first lap, and I think I might have not left him enough room somewhere later on down the road. So I think that was a favor repaid. But you know, it's just a bummer to have it, you know, to end that way. I would have liked to see it play out.
Yeah, but you clearly had good pace and your strategy was very, very sound. Was it difficult fuel saving on this track? You got some very heavy braking zones and therefore some quite heavy acceleration zones.
It was tough. I really screwed myself over getting that slowdown on the first lap. That was costly. I think if I could have fuel saved behind Kenzie and Eric for the first stint, I think I would have been clear in second. I think that would have been done and dusted. But getting behind Steven and Bob slowed me down a bit. But the fuel save was not difficult. It was just a lot. You basically had to fuel save. You know, you were saving a lap and a half from pushing flat out. So yeah, I mean, I only found out it was an endurance race in about 20 minutes before grid. So that was Rob said something in the chat like, so do we need to fuel save? And that was yeah, but you know, it's good. I was just saying to Steven, I think at the start of the race I had about 5th or 6th place pace, and by the end of the race I think I had about 2nd place pace. So I felt really good. I was just kind of cruising at the end, but for a little while when Kenzie was still behind me, I was even able to close up on Eric with some older tires. So it was it was, you know, it was what it was, and you know, we'll move on to next week.
Yeah, speaking of next week, V8 ESC or next race weekend. Is it? Or no, it's not next week. We're at Winton, a very a track very synonymous with the V8s in Australia. How do you go at Winton?
It's not the style that suits me. I like the flowy corners, and there's not many of those at Winton.
No,
But
it's not. No.
we'll have a go. I've done quite a few laps. I think I missed the last league race there, but yeah, I'll have a go and see if I can keep this string of podiums on, and I'll have a good time. I like driving that track better than this, so
Right.
we'll
Okay.
see.
And Rob did all right tonight. He kept it clean. He followed your strategy, or followed a two-stop strategy, and yeah, brought it home four positions up from where he started. Good racing from Rob tonight.
Yeah, Rob was awesome. He was, he's figured out how to fuel save quicker than Adam, so that's played to his benefit today. But it was really good for the team points that that Rob was able to have that good run today. And we were talking after. He's, I think, a little disappointed that he feels like he's just not quite there with the big group.
Mm-hmm.
There's that kind of front to midfield group that's just everybody, and
Yeah.
I think he feels like he's just a little bit off of it. But races like this, he can show what he's capable of with the fuel save and put on a good show. So yeah, real happy for Rob, and good for stemming the bleeding in the team championship, because yeah, Simon was just on another level.
Yeah, he really was. And we'll hear from him shortly, no doubt. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go and celebrate your third place here?
Yeah, Rob and Adam for showing up in the chat for practice for Adam, and the race for Rob. But Adam apparently has water coming out of his electrical sockets, which is not what you want. And yeah, so a tough break for Adam, because he, I think, was quicker than me this week. But we've traded our abilities to put in a lap in qualifying, so I got the jump on him there. But yeah, thanks to those guys. Thanks to you guys for the broadcast, and thanks to everyone who turns up. I think the fields have been a little thinner this season. Hopefully we can get back to those 20 plus car grids soon. And I love racing with everyone here. I feel obviously I was not happy with Kenzie, but it's just a mistake, and I've made him, and it doesn't change the fact that everyone here is great fun to race with. So we'll pick it up at Winton.
Awesome stuff. In that case, we will see you there. And congratulations for your results tonight. Tyler knew it.
See you guys. Thanks.
Okay, so let's carry on going in reverse order. And let's bring in second place, Eric Blix. Welcome to the stream.
Thank you.
Hello. So right at the start, I was watching you in practice and said to Pete that you had some really good pace tonight. This track really seemed to suit your driving style.
Yeah, I managed to get a full hour of practice in at least, so I felt pretty comfortable on pace. Kind of struggled to keep up with Simon, so I decided to hang on to Kenzie instead, because he usually comes up with some interesting fuel strategies. So I tried to hang on to him, but it seemed like Simon's strategy topped out in the end.
Yeah, and you seem to be with Kenzie for a good 90 minutes of that race. I know, things happened ultimately between Kenzie and Tyler that gifted you second place. But if that didn't happen, did you have a plan to get how you was going to get past Kenzie?
He seemed to be pretty stressed out about me just being behind him, even though I wasn't even pushing, so in my head I just had a plan of just starting stressing him out in the end. making sure there's a mistake and just take advantage of it pretty much.
Well,
I had no strategy plan before this race, and my teammate Nico is not available for this one as well, so I had no plans for tonight. I just found a car, stuck to it.
Well, maybe that's the way to go because it certainly worked for you tonight. I just, like I say, I think you had some fantastic pace. Well, proved by you taking home the point for fastest lap as well. The only driver in the 139s. So, do you think you can take this form on to Winton next time out?
I've actually never raced on Winton, but practiced a little bit on it. It's very tight, very technical. So I guess it all depends on where you end up in the field and how aggressive all your opponents are. But I mean, I think the pace is overall pretty good when I get a hang of it.
Yeah, I can't argue with that, and I think Winton, it's one of those tracks that you can see the best in people and the worst in people. It's certainly going to be a very interesting race meeting. So we're going to have to let you go because we've got more interviews to get through. But are there any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
I guess Kenzie for coming up with the strategy. Tyler for a setup from Mid-Ohio last week. I used that one. Worked out really nice. And yeah, just all the sponsors on the Alcantech Welding car.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on a fantastic result. Second place, Eric Blix.
Thanks.
Well, that means you're going to get the winner, Pete. So
Okay.
Let's bring him in.
Good evening, Simon Trundle. How are you doing?
Evening.
So, race victory in the bag. Only 37.6 seconds on the lead. Which language did you learn while you were racing? Just one of those tapes that you put in your car and you learn a language as you go.
Oh, I should have done, shouldn't I? Yeah. Should have learned Finnish because I'll be even faster.
You too could speak French like me.
Anybody. Literally anybody. Anyway, was it as easy as it looked?
No.
Tell us about your race.
You probably didn't see me very much, did you at all? No, I was surprised by the extra pace I had. I was surprised by the gap in qualifying, to be honest. Yeah, I went off and I wasn't sure which way I was going to go. I was going to go for the 3-stop or the 2-stop, but I needed to keep my option open, so I fuel saved in the first lap, and I thought I went into the first chicane, and then Kenzie was having a pop at me, and I was like, okay, maybe he's not going to fuel save. He'll get past me and eventually, and then I'll just sit behind him. And then I think he made a mistake. Must got to slow down at the chicane.
He did, yeah.
And it opened up a 2-second gap, and then I was just keeping up with the fuel saving, and then the gap just kept getting bigger. I'm assuming more slowdowns, but yeah. And then from there, it was a case of I'm hitting my marks and just doing what I want to do, and yeah, it got exciting when Kenzie jumped me in the pit cycle, but yeah, didn't see very much happening, to be honest. I know a lot's probably happened behind me, but I didn't see a lot of it.
Yeah, it was quite dramatic behind you actually. Not too many slowdowns. There was some, a lot of battling, but it did seem to open the door of opportunity for you for sure. Incredible that you were able to lap at those sort of speeds and fuel save at the same time. It just goes to prove what super smooth racing can achieve. Was there any Code Brown moments for you passing through the field or anything like that?
No, because I think most of the back markers I think I passed let me through, so that wasn't terrifying. I only got 2 slowdowns, 2 off tracks. Didn't really ever panic. Have a scary moment. In practice I clipped the grass quite a few times going into the second chicane because there's no curb and it's just grass, and it tends to spin you around quite quickly. But I didn't actually do that. No, there's some sideways moments, but other than that, all smooth. That's
And
what I like.
yeah, I mean, next time out is Winton. Not quite the same style of track as this. A bit more tight, bit more twisty. Do you think you can repeat this performance there?
No. That's a small track.
It is a
even
small
if I'm
track.
fast, it's going to be really hard getting through the field. So,
Right,
especially
okay.
in the feature race.
Yeah, the feature race is going to be, a feature for anybody watching, let's put it that way. Brilliant performance again tonight, absolutely imperious, and thoroughly well deserved. Got yourself well out of the trouble and stayed out of the trouble. Chose a tactic that worked perfectly for you. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go?
Yep. To you guys for running the league and doing the broadcast, always appreciated. All the drivers that turn up, because otherwise there wouldn't be a race. Obviously, small grid size at the moment, but still a good race. And Jamie for what can I thank him for? Not letting me be bored. There we go.
Yeah, he did all right tonight. Actually, he's up 4 places from his start position.
Yeah,
You know,
it got more maybe if he hadn't so many slowdowns, but
well, you know, it's part of a feature of this track, isn't it? So, but no, we will see you at Winton for another stellar performance. Simon Trendle.
cheers, guys.
Well, I was going to drag in Bob Woodhouse, but he seems to have disappeared.
Oh.
So let's bring in 5th place, Stephen Phillips. Welcome to the booth.
Hey guys.
Hello. So, first off, you did win an award tonight for the driver to be overtaken the most times by Tyler Newitt.
Yeah, I guess that doesn't surprise me. Near each other a lot.
In all seriousness, a bit of a roller coaster for you tonight, wasn't it? You was up, you was down, you was up, you was down. Some things went against you, other things went for you. Tell us about the race from your perspective.
Yeah, it was a really weird one, to be honest. We had a couple of guys that didn't take the grid, some slowdowns in front of me on the first lap, and raced a little too hard in the first stint, and then opted for an undercut, which punished me later in the race, which was a bummer. And yeah, I mean, after I stopped the first time, I was just managing the fuel. I didn't really care if anyone passed me or not. I just wanted to make sure I could make it home, and I couldn't because I was punished for driving too hard in the first stint.
Yeah, but then I think the second to last stint you extended as much as possible, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you know, came out in a fairly healthy position. And like you say, with things that happened in front of you, some people will say you was gifted top 5. I always say that you have to be in the right place to take advantage when those things happen. So I think you drove it very, very well tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think I earned it because I finished. But I don't know if I'm happy with how I drove or if I had fun. Just because it is so frustrating when you feel like a 2-stop is possible, and then you have to come in again because you didn't extend the first stint far enough.
Yeah, it's we always look at it in times, and you really needed to be going 36, 37 minutes minimum on that first stint to do it, and it was fairly clear cut. As soon as the first pit stops had happened, who could and who couldn't do it. But I think the 3-stop actually worked in your favour. Eric was very, very quick. Simon and Tyler were 2-stopping anyway, which we all expected, but before the race even started. I think your race was probably where you finished. If I'm honest, I think you did everything that was expected, and probably maybe even finished a position higher than your strategy would have suggested.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to complain about a fifth place finish at all. I think I probably should have admitted to myself sooner that I wasn't going to make a two-stop work after the second pit stop, and stopped fuel saving and tried to actually pick up the pace a little bit and come in earlier.
Well, like I say, I think you had a great race. I didn't see any major mistakes from your car, apart from once when you were sat in the pit lane. It looked like you had a massive bit of damage on the right-hand side of your car that happened to be a dog. So yeah, that was all on me. But any shout-outs you want to give before we let you go?
I just want to thank everyone that did show up today. These races are always more fun when the grid's full. So thanks to everyone who showed up. Hope to see more folks at the next one, which I unfortunately am not going to be able to make. But yeah, it'd be nice to have people filling out the grid again. 'Cause I know we had a couple of regulars that weren't here today, and yeah. I know that some people were just turning laps and didn't have anybody to race, which it sucks to see.
Yeah, a couple of cars didn't make the grid through technical issues, but yeah, that sort of thing happens. Well, congratulations on your 5th place and a big haul of points, Steve Phillips.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Okay, last but not least for you, Pete, it's Ant Woodward.
Good evening, Ant Woodward.
Evening. How are we?
Oh, we're pretty good. So, started 10th, finished 10th. Saw you battling all the way through the race, a lot of times with your own teammates. You spent quite a lot of time around Nikolai at the start. You opted for... Did you opt for the 2-stop? Did you opt for the 2-stop?
No,
you went for the 3-stop.
Never going to make that work, Pete.
And then, what was going on at the end?
Yes.
So, tell us about the end first, and then you can tell us about the rest after.
Well, I had a good car.
Yeah.
It was good at the end of the run. So I thought I'll run long in the stints. And hold on, sorry, there's someone talking in the background there. Some idiot. So yeah, felt pretty good about it. But then Phillip Island problems came back. So when I'm on rumble strips or curbs, I lose force feedback for a second.
Oh.
So when you look at after hairpin, you got the right left chicane. Everyone's pretty much fully off track there turning in. I couldn't touch any of that. I lost force feedback. So that happened to me sort of second half of the race. So I think it was a bit where I was hoping to catch Jamie and overlap in the pits, and I just got slowdown after slowdown, and yeah, the wheel just kept turning off and back on, and very frustrating.
Yeah, it sounds it. We very quickly worked out that there was something technical going on, but we weren't sure what it was. Clyde thought you were just doing donuts for fun.
Well, that was just frustration got the better of me after that, and I just thought, I just let it up, and then I couldn't stop anywhere there, and I thought, well, I need to make it to the end still. But yeah, glad I did that, made it to the end, but I don't know, it might be me done if I can't fix it, because it's a big one.
Yeah, I've got a weird thing going on when I go off track, which, let's face it, that's a lot.
Same.
Yeah, my sound cuts out, which is really weird, isn't it? I go on the grass and my sound cuts out. What's that about? But,
isn't it fantastic until it stops working?
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? And obviously the cure to mine is don't go off track. But yeah, that's just not possible.
Never going to happen.
Never.
No,
not even for a few minutes. But did you enjoy Magny Cours?
I did until I didn't. That was extremely frustrating at the end, because I did feel like I was having a reasonable race. Obviously, it wasn't the 2-stop strategy, but short pit stop, and then I I think I might have had Rob Venn there. You know, I always enjoy racing, Pete. I love listening to the V8, but that was a tough one.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Two in a row as well. You know, I've gone from 4th to God knows where in the championship. So gone from smashing it out the park to just smashing it into the walls.
Yeah, it's never good when that happens. Hopefully you can sort out whatever ailments it is.
Big hammer.
Big hammer may be the solution. Persuade it into positions.
At least the power stayed on, unlike
Well,
for Adam.
yeah.
So
Yeah, something more fundamental for Adam. But yeah, hopefully you'll get it all sorted and Winton will come to your aid because everybody likes racing at Winton, right?
I do actually. Yeah,
Oh,
I
right,
had one of my best results there actually, but yeah, it won't be very good if I've got problems. So
No
we'll
way,
see.
no. Okay, well, let's cross everything for you, fingers, toes, and everything else. That you get it all sorted. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go?
Yes, please, you boys for doing it as ever. Everyone for turning up. Stacey, Jack, and Evie. Simability team sponsors, league sponsors, and so one more. No, it's gone.
If you remember, put it in the chat.
Will do. Cheers, boys.
Yeah, cheers, Ant. We'll see you next time.
Right, so that's the end of another exciting evening of racing, Pete. And, well, we get on to the most exciting bit of the broadcast now, and that is the driver of the meeting. So I'll let you have a little think, and I'll go first because I've already made my mind up. There were a number of contenders. Simon Trendle, for obvious reasons. And he's not getting my vote for obvious reasons. Tyler Newitt for his tactics. I think Stephen Phillips had a really good race. Rob Venn as well, another one. It's probably one of the first times I've seen Rob try the alternative tactic, and you know it did well. Bob Woodhouse, I think, again, possibly wouldn't have finished as high up as 4th if it wasn't for other people. But, as I keep saying, you got to be there to take advantage. But I think it's going to be Eric Blixt for me. I think he had some blistering pace tonight. Took the fastest lap. Obviously not consistently quick like Simon, but quick enough to finish second. And I think it probably made it a little bit better knowing after we spoke to him that, you know, very little practice and no idea on what tactics he was going to use, which normally spells disaster. And I also think we was robbed at the end of a really good battle between him and Kenzie. So Eric Blix gets my vote tonight.
Awesome, and a well-placed vote it is. Mine goes to someone who you didn't mention. He had a very quiet race, in my opinion. He was mostly surrounded by his own team for a lot of it, but when he wasn't, he was very, very racy. And it's Nikolai Bogatyrov. He's ended up in 6th place, but that's 6 places up from where he started, and granted, some of those were gifted, at least 3 of them, with 2 people that didn't start at all, and Kenzie, who quit out. But I think his performance was nice and clean. I don't remember him getting into any altercations with anybody. I think he's done a great job of the strategy that he's been on. He's ended up ahead of everybody in his own stable, apart from Bob Woodhouse, who we know is super rapid. So my vote for tonight goes to Nikolai.
Excellent. So another good vote, and one I can't argue with. So that's the end of the broadcast for tonight. Big thanks to Simability for their continued support in sponsoring the league. Big thanks to the drivers for keeping us guessing for 2 hours, and Also, a big shout out to everybody on the chat. Incidentally, Pete, the Mew wants us to do tractor racing on Farm Sim, so I'm sure we can sort that out at some point.
Do you remember doing truck racing around Croft?
I do, yes.
On our Faxer. That was class.
That was very good. I even did. What was the funniest one we ever did on that? Was it milk floats?
Oh yeah, we did milk floats. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that was quite good. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, big thanks to everybody. Thanks to Pete for doing the cameras and joining me in the booth. And we will see you next time out at Winton. So I shall say goodnight. Let Pete say goodnight, and then we'll close the broadcast. So good night, everybody. Stay safe, and thanks for watching.
Yeah, good night, everybody. Look forward to Winton and having you with us then. Good night.
We'll be right back.